Testing, testing, testing. All right. All right, Bob. I have to fix Bob's mic. Testing, testing, testing. Bob, test your mic.
Testing, testing.
Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to Futv. Here we are again, another episode. We're watching Reefer's Madness. Bob, what do you think?
I'm excited. I don't know if I've ever seen the whole film, so this might be a first view for me.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, people. We're dealing with our dogs. Took us a long time to get this going. It's about 300 degrees in the office we're in right now. Give me a minute. They're a bit very irritating, right, Bob?
They certainly
extremely irritating. They really are. All right, so we're gonna be watching Reefer Madness. Just give me 1 second while I set everything up. This is a lot of stuff, and we haven't done the Futv in a few weeks now. So I have to get back into it. You know how it is, people. Let's see if this is too loud. Okay, this might be too loud. I'm lowering it. Hopefully you guys can hear us. Hopefully I wasn't blowing out of the audio. All right, so we're very rusty. We're rusty. We're effing rusty. But we're going to be watching Reefer Madness and, who knows what else. We're going to do some trivia later, too. All right. Going to check and see in the comments. Hopefully some people come in later, but it doesn't matter because it's still going to be here after. All right, so we're going to look up some information about the film. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. 1 second, please. Like I said, I'm getting used to this. Again, I haven't done this in a while. All right, Reefer Madness. Sorry about those advertisements. I'm going to be cutting those out later. Those were incredibly negative. And that's not what we're trying to do here, people. We don't want this to be all super negative or anything like that. Right, Bob?
Correct. Sentient Flapjack actually commented, well, these have been dark. Indeed, they were. Yes, sorry about that.
They were extremely... bad. They were very negative. I mean, come on, people. It's just drugs, man. Doing meth. There's nothing wrong with a little meth, right, Bob?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
All right. Now that I've said that, we got an advertisement. We got an advertiser, people. Isn't that amazing? We got somebody to help us out over here. We got an ad from what is this, public service announcement about drugs. All right, give me 1 second. I got to look for this clip that they sent us. Where is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Damn, discipline. I think you have goblins that come in and move your clips around. I just don't know. A lot of my files are moved around. I don't know. Maybe I didn't put it in here. We'll see it later on.
But while we're waiting for that, we're gonna go and we're gonna look at some information about the movie. Here, Bob. All right, so Bob's gonna read some of this. Here, Bob.
All right.
Can you read that? All right, Bob. Bob's going to look at some of this information here.
Reefer Madness, originally made as Tell Your Children and sometimes titled The Burning Question, Dope Addict, Doped Youth, and Love Madness, is a 1936 American exploitation film about drugs revolving around the melodramatic events that ensue when high school students... The screen just...
Okay, so my screen is just turned off. That's awesome. She's reading it. The screen just turned off. Okay, I'm gonna hopefully I get that back because I need to have the screen on in order to find my to actually use my OBS screen.
Also, just an FYI, this stream started on a different.
Can you see that?
I can see it.
Okay.
It started on a different stream. So the one that you had up, it started a different one when you started.
Oh,
this
that's
one.
Great. It wasn't supposed to do that, but okay.
Just letting you know. That's a thing.
Okay, I'm going to go check out the YouTube because I started another stream instead of using the one I had set
Okay,
up.
so it's a 1936 American exploitation film about drugs revolving around the melodramatic events that ensue when high school students are lured by pushers to try marijuana. Upon trying it, they become addicted, eventually leading them to become involved in various crimes, such as a hit-and-run accident, manslaughter, murder, conspiracy to murder, and attempted rape. While all this is happening, they suffer hallucinations, descend into insanity, associate with organized crime, and in one character's case, commit suicide. The film was directed by Louis J. Gasnier and featured a cast of mainly little-known actors. I'm sure that surprises literally no one. Originally financed by a church group under the title Tell Your Children, the film was intended to be shown to parents as a morality tale attempting to teach them about the dangers of cannabis use. Soon after the film was shot, it was purchased by producer Dwayne Esper, who recut the film for distribution on the exploitation film circuit, exploiting vulgar interest while escaping censorship under the guise of moral guidance, beginning in 1938 to 1939 through the 40s and 50s.
All right, so
This movie's actually a lot older than I thought it was. I thought this was a movie from like the 60s. So It's
Really?
a full 30 years old. I don't think I've ever seen the entire thing. So
I haven't seen it in so many years that I don't know. I just don't remember any of it really, other than some weird creepy faces that people did. I just thought they did look whacked out of their mind. It always seemed like it's almost like a zombie movie in a way. Like they just act really effing weird. All right, gonna get this info out of here. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on with the reefer madness, people. But come on, remember, it's okay. It's okay. Just do tons of drugs. Just kidding. I'm joking. That's a joke, people. Don't take that seriously. We're gonna be watching a trailer for the movie. Maybe later I can find that clip that we were sent by that public service announcement. But before we get into the trailer, we got a new movie that's coming out real soon. The perfect timing for it, right around the Olympics, right, Bob?
definitely.
All right, so here we go. We got the Friday the 13th. Jason Takes the Olympics. That's coming out soon. What do you think about that, Bob? You excited?
I mean, it looks terrifying, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Real nightmare fuel there.
It says here that it's a Jason for a new generation. That's a woman, people. That's a woman, but she identifies as a what? She doesn't identify as a woman, which is kind of odd because she has all the parts, but she looks like a big dude, jacked. This is way creepier than the original films, right?
William Shatner could never.
No, it wasn't William Shatner. That's Halloween.
Oh, Jason's hockey mask, right?
Yeah, Jason is the hockey
yeah.
mask. Yes.
Never mind.
It's a slasher for a new generation. It takes place in the Olympics. I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Maybe we'll review it here on the channel.
We'll watch it one day. What do you think about that, Cary Grant? Yeah.
You know what his real name was?
I mean, you said it before on the show, I think, but what is it, Bob?
Archibald Leach.
Archibald Leach?
Archibald, not
All right.
Archibald.
All right. So Cary Grant doesn't seem to be too impressed. And again, I'm going to be cutting the beginning of this out. We had some drug ads on there. They were really negative, people. I mean, what's wrong with a little meth, Bob?
Everything.
Everything.
Apparently.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. No Diddy?
What are you, my father?
Yes.
Come on, I'll buy you a drink. Listen, I'm already late. Thank you very much. But hey,
Okay, bring him down here. Come on, move it. Let's go get that drink.
what's going on? What the fuck did I do wrong? Tell me.
You blab.
Are you crazy? I don't even know anything.
Should have listened to me.
You're making a big mistake. You got me mixed up with somebody else.
Pal. You got yourself mixed up with somebody.
That was an epic broken nose.
Yeah,
I
that was
like,
crazy.
"Oh!"
He got karate chopped right into his nose. People, if you didn't know, that's actually Justin Timberlake, not Justin Timberlake, Justin Bieber in the future. He's still running from P. Diddy's henchmen. Isn't that crazy? They just don't leave him alone.
No, they don't.
You know? All right, we got another ad over here. This from a company called Recall.
All recall for the memory of a lifetime.
For the memory of a lifetime, recall, recall, recall.
Yeah, we're actually really proud of that one. That's a big company, right, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, we were very excited
Yeah,
when they reached
really,
out to
really
us on a
excited.
sponsorship.
Yeah, it's big. It's big. It's a big one. A lot of people want that sponsorship. Okay, here's the trailer for Reefer Madness.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. In innocently they dance. Innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell. In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case. In this startling film, you will see dopesters lure children to destruction.
We're going over to Joe's place. Why don't you come along? We have a date to play a set of doubles. Oh, you can play anytime. Come on, we'll have some laughs. Can I go along with you? Sure. Hey, I'll see you at dinner, sis.
If you want a good smoke, try one of these.
You will meet Bill, who once took pride in his strong will as he takes the first step toward enslavement.
Of course, if you're afraid.
Smoking the soul-destroying reefer, they find a moment's pleasure, but at a terrible price. Debauchery, violence, murder, suicide. And the ultimate end of the marijuana addict. Hopeless insanity. See this important film now, before it is too late. These high school boys
All right.
are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocent.
I think that's what probably threw me off, that they talk about a hop at the soda fountain, and that's more of a 50s thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I thought it was later than it actually is. But it's kind of interesting that it was in, what, 1937, 1936,
Yeah.
something in there?
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, the country was way more, people would say restrictive, but it was actually in a lot of ways just more moral. And they're just, I mean, people were afraid because these drugs were proven to do these things, right? People were going crazy. They're committing crime. They're robbing their own families. It gets pretty dark, people, but we're not trying to be dark over here. But yes, I do agree that it is a little bit exaggerated, right? When they go to from what I remember, they're doing like all these wacky faces and going insane, right, Bob?
Yeah.
If you
But
remember?
I mean, I think that
It's like a
from what-
zombie movie almost.
It gets a little bit over the top, but I guess if
but
you're
it's-
trying to like,
But that's the
tell
best comedy, I
people-
feel like, right? That's the best kind of comedy, unintentional.
right, but like, I think that if you're trying to prevent people from doing a thing, then like that is the way you do it, right? You make it seem terrible.
All right, people, I'm putting this is our Venmo. If people want to support the channel, this is Futv, by the real Futv. This is the real Futv, people. You are watching FU Theater, Theater, people. We're watching Reefer Madness. Let's give us a couple of seconds. We're setting everything up. This really is the greatest channel known to man. It really is.
And for folks unfamiliar with QR codes, all you do is hold your phone up to the screen, open your camera, and it will open up a link. Then you can do whatever you see in your hearts to do.
Yes.
We just had another $6,000 vet bill this past weekend, so that's
Yes.
exciting.
This is part of what we call the dog fund. It's a new thing we add to the channel. It's just it's the way it is, people. It is the way it is. I wish I had my Wayne's World ad that I had set up, and I don't know where I put it. Where the heck is it, Bob?
I don't know. You're like the gremlins have gotten in and moved
Well,
all your
anyway,
stuff around.
You just scan it, people. We're going to be going into the movie. Remember to subscribe to Futv, and by Futv I mean
The real
Futv. I'm looking for my subscribe button. I don't know where the heck it is.
That's
All right.
missing too?
Yes, I got some files that are missing. Remember to subscribe to the real Futv. This really is the greatest channel known to man, people. It really is. So that's just the truth, people. It just really is.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. Roll film. interesting spelling. Marijuana. Violent, narcotic, and unspeakable scourge.
All right, people. So this is in purple haze vision. At times, the purple haze will go on. Just so you guys know.
A little spice.
What did they used to call it? So the colorizing of films.
Technicolor.
So it's like purple haze color, whatever. Hazel vision.
I would be very curious to see what studies they're purporting to have based these real events on. Maybe that's something I'll look into. I'll see if I can find the research that they based this on.
Yeah.
Must be stopped. You and all other school parent groups about the country, and you must stand united on this and stand.
All right, people. I see the subtitles are on. I'm turning those off right now. So give me 1 second. I don't know why those are on.
But the gentleman that you hear speaking now is actually doing a phenomenal iteration of that mid-Atlantic accent.
Yes.
Where it sounds sort of like he's either from Connecticut or he's from England originally and has lived in the States for like 35 years plus or take 1.5 days.
Yes.
But yeah, so when we've talked about this before, we've talked about the mid-Atlantic accent. That's it. What he's doing right now, that is the mid-Atlantic accent.
Yes. So yeah, they do a fake accent. All right, we're going back to the movie.
Out this frightful assassin of our youth. You can do it by bringing about compulsory education on the subject of narcotics in general, the dread marijuana in particular. That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, to lay the foundation for a nationwide campaign by you to demand by law such compulsory education. Because it is only through enlightenment that this scourge can be wiped out. Out of the traffic in these drugs, a lawlessness that we can scarcely estimate has grown and is now flourishing. It exists in almost every city and hamlet in the country. It might be interesting and important for you to know some of the methods used in bringing these drugs into the country, and the work of the forces of law and order, which are daily combating the traffic, always at the risk of life by their agents. This ceaseless fight against the drug traffic is directed by the Department of Narcotics, Washington. I've received a letter of vital importance from a member of the Narcotics Bureau. I'm going to read this letter to you. My dear Dr. Carroll, the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. At the outset of this letter, there is one vital fact I would like to submit. There is a powerful agency. I speak of the school parent associations of this country, which can be invaluable in stamping out this scourge. Their help, their eternal vigilance, could be the deciding factor in our fight against it. The weed marijuana is grown in every state in the Union. Recently, in the city of Brooklyn, New York.
Hey, Brooklyn!
Was found
Yes, that's where I'm from.
The weed was here being cultivated, regularly stripped and dried and sold in schools and at government army posts in and around New York. The dried leaves and berries are ground up and made into cigarettes by a simple hand machine. The deadly narcotic is thus quickly and easily prepared for its market. The sale of marijuana is even more difficult to detect and halt than the traffic in drugs such as opium, morphine, and heroin. They are hidden in fake jewelry cases, in the heels of shoes, women's shoes especially.
Whoa.
The drugs can be secreted in false.
Damn women.
Hollowed shaving brushes are another medium. Books with
What? That looks like pills.
are often used. Watch cases.
He's talking about opium and heroin as well, so
Drugs thus seized is enormous. Recently, a huge supply of heroin was taken. It was concealed in an apparently harmless shipment of 35 barrels of olive oil. The deadly drug was burned in the incinerator of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. And more vicious.
and everybody got really
Even
high.
than these soul-destroying
Yeah.
drugs is the menace of marijuana. No doubt many of you
I'm
do.
gonna freeze for a second. This is actually a really like I mean, is he acting or is this a real thing? I mean, it looks like it doesn't even seem like acting.
Well, this was intended to be some kind of cautionary tale, like a warning film. I know that, like, in its probably wider release, it became this like exploitation film. But in its original intention, it was supposed to be like a cautionary tale, like parents, make sure your kids don't do this.
But I feel like this guy's dead serious. Like this is not like a movie. It's like an actual meeting. What the F? This dude's dead. This dude's fucking serious, man. He's real serious.
Do not believe that these things do happen, but they cannot happen to you. You may also believe that the facts have been exaggerated. Let me tell you of something that happened right here in our own city. You probably read about it in the papers. However, I'll give you the real facts behind the case. There was an apartment near one of our high schools. It was run by a woman known as May Coleman.
Colin, huh?
Hey, come on, May, get up.
What time is it?
Time to get up and give this place a going over. Looks like the Marines had landed.
Oh, that bunch last night was high enough to take over the Marines and the Navy.
You better get on the
Oh,
job.
sorry about that, people.
Some of the kids may be up this afternoon.
Oh, Jack, we can get along without dragging those young kids up here.
Oh, why don't you button up your lip? You're always squawking about something. You got more stuff.
I feel like this film is missing music. I'm gonna put a little music in it, all right, just to change things
So
up.
actually, kind of interesting thing in the bedroom here. In code, like during the code, which was the morality code of Hollywood, which came into effect, I think, in the early 30s, even married couples could not be shown or implied to be sleeping in the same bed. So when you see episodes of like I Love Lucy, when you see this, when you see Leave It to Beaver, the married couples always have separate beds in the master bedroom. So like Lucy and Desi have their own beds. These two have their own beds. And that was because even the depiction of a singular bed would lead to impure thoughts.
Okay.
So,
all right. So, I mean, this is fitting for Impure Thoughts. We have a song here to go. This is perfect. This was part of the soundtrack. If they remade this movie today, this would definitely be in it. Here we go.
Never Sobers is requesting show tunes. Were you a theater kid? Never Sober.
Okay.
I feel like the truth of your soul is coming out.
All right. I don't know what's up with this track. Give me 1 second, people. Okay, here it is.
Wet ass P word. Make that pull
Oh my God. No, we're not doing this.
Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything.
I think this was not the move.
Beat it up, N-word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P-word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P-word is wet, come take a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar. Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's
There's some whores in this house.
7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pull out game weak.
Well, hello.
Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a
name?
for this wet ass.
Go right in. Just sit down and make yourself comfortable.
Everything you've got for this wet ass P
Hey,
word.
what kind of a joint is this, Eddie?
Oh, it's all right, Gwen. See, they probably had a party last night.
Oh.
A couple of your customers, May.
Yeah? They're old enough to know what they're doing. Not like those young kids you bring up here.
All right, all right. Listen, I'm going to blow.
Where are you going?
I got to make some deliveries, and I'll probably drop by Joe's place and bring back a couple of the kids.
Oh, I wish you'd lay off those kids.
Oh, why don't you get over their complex?
Oh, by the way, Ralph, I'm sort of getting a little party Saturday afternoon over at my grandmother's. You know, the place with the swimming pool? Like to come?
Thanks, Eddie. Maybe I will.
I'd sure like to have you.
Okay, I'll probably drop over.
So long, Ralph.
See you later. Hey, Ralph. Hi, kid. Fine, Jack, and you? Oh, great. Where you heading? Oh. Hey, how do you like that? That's the one I was telling you about. Very nice.
I don't know why you want to make such a fuss over that Ralph Wiley.
Oh, he's a swell swimmer. He made the freshman team that year he went to college.
Yeah, and that lets him out. My dad knows his family. None of them are any good. Father and mother just got a divorce from Paris.
Yeah?
You know, Ralph runs around pretty much on his own. He's been in a couple of jams.
Well, I only kind of say hello to him. I don't go around with him.
Well, you better not. He's a little too old for it. That's what my dad said.
Hello, Mary. How are you, Bill?
How are you, Ralph?
Oh, hello, Ralph. You know my brother Jimmy, don't you?
How are you?
Well,
I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Jack Perry. Mary, Bill.
How do you do?
Glad to know you. We're going over to Joe's place. Why don't you come along?
we have a date to play, a set of doubles.
Oh, you can play anytime. Come on, we'll have some laughs.
Oh, we can't today, Ralph. Some other time.
Can I go along with you?
Sure.
Hey, I'll see you at dinner, sis.
Don't be late, Jimmy.
7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pull out game weak. Yeah.
Was a cameraman gay over there? What the hell was with that butt shot? You saw that? You saw that? What the hell?
Beat it up and catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top if I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth.
Hey, he ain't no paper man.
Why, don't you know him? That's Hot Finger Friday.
Boy, he really swings out hot with a mess of jive. You want to dance?
Do it.
May's expecting us at the apartment a little later. Any new prospects?
Maybe.
looks like Dr. Jekyll. Right? Which one is it, Bob? Mr. Hyde, right?
Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, he looks like Mr. Hyde.
You just finding that out?
Well, right now he's serving that. Yeah, that's Mr. Hyde right there.
Yeah.
And never sobers. What he means when he says link is he had a QR code on screen briefly.
Yes, I have a QR code. Anybody who wants...
You want to come, don't you, Jenny?
Oh, sure.
If people don't know, this is how you fund the channel. I call it the Dog Fund. It's something new we added to the channel, just to support the channel, people. You just scan it with your phone. Obviously, the QR code. You know about this crap.
Any place with you?
Well, come on. We can all go in my car.
See you later, Joe.
Everyone who, if you didn't know, this is the Purple Haze edition of Reefer Madness. Just so you know, this is different from the original.
It's sweet of you to help me, Bill.
Well, I'll try anything except domestic science.
Why, Bill, don't you want to learn something about running your own home?
The answer is no. You know, after that session we had yesterday, I went home and told Mother that the trouble with her pot roast gravy was she hadn't added 3 heaping teaspoonfuls of olive oil.
What did she say?
She didn't say anything. She just threw me out of the kitchen.
Well, I don't wonder. Hello, children. Hello, Mother.
Hello, Mrs. Lane.
That was sweet of you, Mother.
Gosh, hot chocolate. Thanks, Mrs. Lane.
I know you can't study on empty stomachs. Now then, enjoy yourself.
He will.
She will too, Mrs. Lane. May I?
Oh, thank you, kind sir. You're so very, very kind.
Mary, before we do that math, how about reading some of this? It's swell.
Romeo and Juliet.
Don't you like it?
Uh-huh.
You know, when I study this, I kind of think of you. I just sort of feel as though you're there beside me.
That's insidious.
It is. What did he just say?
He said when he reads Romeo and Juliet, he thinks of her beside him. Romeo and Juliet's a tragedy. It's not a love story. It's a tragedy about greed and pride.
Okay.
FYI.
All right, we were sent the link by Sobers, I think.
It calls upon thy name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo.
My dear.
Yeah, we heard the jump up in this motherfucker.
Sorry, people.
By the hour of 9,
I will not fail.
Smoke that weed, smoke that weed, drink that liquor, pop that smoke that pee,
I'll see you tonight, Mary.
smoke that weed,
Goodbye.
All right, people. Once again, this is the Purple Haze edition of Reefer Madness. So if you guys got any songs you want us to play, just send them our way. Hopefully this isn't copyright. This Never Sobers in the comments has sent us a song. What's this guy's name, Bob? Of the Juice Man?
Of the Juice Man, I guess.
Chronicles of the Juice Man. This is going to be a song we're going to add to the Purple Haze edition. Hopefully we don't get a copyright hit for this. Okay,
maybe if we get a bunch of cool music we can make a Spotify playlist, the Purple Haze edition of Reefer Madness.
All right, here it goes, people. This is the song Never Sober sent us. This was a request. Here it is.
All right. Bye. Bye.
Hey, Dad! Hey, Dad, you got anything for me?
Well, there should be.
Don't bother your father every night.
Have you?
There you are.
What made you so late, Bill? I was getting worried.
Well, I had to study, Ma.
He was not. I saw him out walking with his girl. Bill's got...
All right, just to let you guys know, we're going to be adding these songs that were requested back into the movie when appropriate, when the song is appropriate, all right? So send us your requests. Here we go.
Got a girl.
Ma, make him cut it out.
Junior,
Well, Bill has got a girl.
quiet. And put that candy away till after dinner. Henry, you shouldn't have given it to him.
Well, he has got a girlfriend, and her name is Mary.
Yeah, I'll shut you up.
Bill, Junior, put that carrying on. Junior!
Oh, that's a little out of there. All right there, young.
Mary's little
what I'm burned up about is that you didn't say Bill had a swell girl.
It's like Tony Fergus. What's his name? What's the guy from It's a Wonderful Life?
That is Gary Cooper.
Not his name's not Gary Cooper.
Yeah, it is, I think.
No, it isn't. What's the actor from?
I'll find out.
It's definitely not Gary Cooper.
Are you talking about the character or the actor who played him?
The actor, the lead actor.
Sounds like you want something. Come on, what is it?
Well, it's my model airplane. It won't work. Gosh, Bill, you could fix it. You can fix anything.
Okay, I'll fix it.
Hey, Dad, read me 20 pages, will you?
Yeah, here we are. You see?
James Stewart. They look similar, in my defense.
Mary told me to wait until she had to go home. Her mother wanted her to go to the dressmaker with her.
Oh, thanks, Jimmy. Must be getting grown up. I see Mary let you have the car.
Yeah. Can I take you any place?
Well, I wasn't going any place in particular.
Well, then, how about driving me over to the show's place with me? I'll buy you a soda.
I never drink that stuff.
Well, gee, I'll buy you something else.
Okay. You're on the hook for one root beer.
Well.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy.
The whole damn fuck smoke.
All right, then.
Hello, Blanche. Hello, Ralph. How are you? Hello, Blanche. How have you been, Ralph? 2 sodas. No, I mean 1 soda and 1 root beer. How's May?
Oh, she's fine. We're going up to her apartment a little later.
Couldn't Bill come along?
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't come on along, Bill. You'll get a kick out of it. Thanks just the same.
Oh, come on, Bill. Mary won't be jealous.
Why, sure. A lot of the kids will be there. It's keen.
Well, I don't know. I really shouldn't. Well, okay.
Hi, kid. Hello, Jack. What do you say? Yeah, come on in.
Come on, Bill. Don't stand there. I'm Meg. This is Bill Harper. He's okay.
Hello.
Well, if you say so, it's all right with me. I'll be back in a minute. Hiya, kids. How you doing?
Okay, hi, May.
There's a new one in today.
Yeah, Bill Harper. He's all right. Blanche has got herself quite a yen for her.
Not bad. I didn't think she had that much taste.
Damn, they made that music super loud, didn't they?
Well, that's because they're supposed to be having a party.
You better run over and get some.
Why couldn't you find that out when I was here this morning? Now I've got my car in the shop.
Well, what of it? That kid out there, Jimmy, he's got a car. He'll take you. Come on, get going. Hurry up.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah?
I've got to run over to Cedar Avenue for a minute. You've got a car, haven't you?
Why, yeah, my sister.
Mind giving me a lift?
Why, sure. Come on.
Okay.
What's fascinating is all of these people are high school students.
Really?
All of them. Yeah, these are all supposed to be high schoolers.
You know, like 30-year-old high schoolers. Yeah, so the drugs got them like this?
What?
The drugs got them touching each other like this? The drugs got them all at the parties touching each other?
Well, I mean, you know, it's all, they're not really touching each other. Most they're doing is sitting on each other's lap. It's not like,
for the time, it probably was pretty,
for the time,
they're
but
not,
that's what they're trying to show,
they're
that
not
it like
married.
leads to really inappropriate fast times at Ridgemont High, as it were.
Yeah, they're not married. She like blew like 100% of the smoke out. You know what it reminds me of? Elon Musk smoking a joint on the Joe Rogan show.
That guy, though, that guy was really smoking.
Of course, if you're afraid. That's bitter. That's more like it. I know you like that. Really, you will.
Yeah, we high as a jump in this motherfucker. I'm drinking some fruit punch. That's Belvedere vodka and cranberry juice. You know what I'm saying? The engineer high. Everybody Smoke, high. smoke that weed, smoke, smoke that weed, drink that liquor, pop them.
I just realized that they robbed the Linkin Park music, so this cannot be copyright. This guy definitely did not pay the guys from Linkin Park.
Pop them pills, smoke that pee, smoke that weed, smoke that weed, drink that liquor, pop
Drink
them
that shit.
pills, smoke that pee, smoke that weed,
Look at that beautiful car. I think that's a Jag. Oh my goodness. He's a high schooler driving a Jag. Now that is probably the most implausible thing I've seen so far.
How's business?
Getting better every day. Those kids sure go for it.
Swell.
Had to run over for a couple more cartons. Ran short today.
All right. Johnny, that's 10 gross for Jack Perry. Who? Pete Daly. All right, send him in. It's all right, stay where you are.
I want to talk to you.
All right, go ahead. Jack's okay. What's the beef?
Listen, you never heard no beef when I had to sell that rotten gin.
You're after the dough, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't need dough that bad. Taking two-bit pieces from kids.
There are millions of two-bit pieces just begging to be taken. Don't be a dope.
I'm just dope enough to draw the line selling hop to kids.
All right, Pete. You know what my policy's always been. If the boys are not satisfied, I'm always glad to have them retire. Retire permanently. So long.
I only wish you had a couple of kids so I could... Get out!
So when that other guy walked in and the guy who's picking up the cartons pushed his jacket back, it was to show his gun on his hip. Because at this time, almost everybody was carrying a gun either in the shoulder holster or on their hip.
Let's go, Jack. I'm red hot.
Better be careful how you drive it. The first thing you know, you'll be ice cold.
Take it easy, kid. Hold on, you'll kill somebody.
Ooh, he's going 45 miles an hour. Uh-oh.
What, he fell out of the car? What the hell?
No, he ran over a guy crossing the street.
Oh, I thought he jumped out. That was weird. Damn, that was messed up. Damn, that's what the weed did to him?
Mary, you're not eating your breakfast again. Bill Hartford hasn't been around lately. Anything wrong between you two? Why should there be anything wrong? There shouldn't be, I'm sure. And whatever it is isn't serious, I know.
I'm sorry, Mother, for snapping at you like that.
Don't worry about it, dear. Why don't you speak frankly to Bill? He'll be honest whatever the trouble is. I'm sure Bill Harper never lied about anything.
Yes, that's right. Bill's mother says he never lies.
There, you see?
You think it'd be all right if I speak to him about it?
Why, of course. Oh, Jimmy.
For what?
Sit down, darling, and I'll have your breakfast for you in a moment.
Jimmy, there's something worrying you.
What have I got to worry about?
Why don't you tell me?
Well, for Pete's sake, don't start to cross-examine me, will you? I'm all right.
Jimmy! Don't let Mother see you like that.
All right, people, just so you know, I am adding music to the movie. This is a live production, people. Everything you hear right now, the music and everything, I'm doing live. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to play different songs that fit the scenes, okay? Just so you know, because this movie doesn't have a lot of music.
You would think she would just ask Jimmy what's wrong with Bill. They're friends, apparently.
There is no doubt
that there is an organized gang distributing the narcotic to students, not only in my school, but all over the city. You government men have got to find some way to put an end to it.
Of course, I agree with you, Dr. Carroll. But do you realize that marijuana is not like other forms of dope? You see, it grows wild in almost every state in the Union. Therefore, there is practically no interstate commerce in the drug. As a result, the government's hands are tied. And frankly, the only sure cure is a widespread campaign in education.
Oh, it's all right to talk about education, Mr. Wyatt, but we educators can't do anything until the public is sufficiently aroused.
Let me show you something.
No diddy.
In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets. All these devoted to marijuana records. Here is an example. A 16-year-old lad apprehended in the act of staging a holdup. 16 years old and a marijuana addict. Here is a most tragic case.
Yes, I remember. Just a young boy. Under the influence of the drug, he killed his entire family with an axe.
Then there is a most vicious type of case.
Damn, he killed this guy with an axe just because he smokes.
Killed his whole family with an
Because
axe.
he smokes a fucking joint, he killed his whole family with an axe.
I feel like it wasn't just pot. I feel like there was something else in there.
Here, in Michigan, a young girl, 17 years old, a reefer smoker, taken in a raid in the company with 5 young men. Here is a particularly flagrant case.
Yes, I remember. The newspapers made quite a play of it. In West Virginia, wasn't it?
Yes. And there are hundreds of them coming up, new ones every day.
I'd like to take these records, if I may. I feel they would be of invaluable assistance to me in combating the evil in my school.
You're very welcome, Dr. Carroll.
Thank you. Sit down, Bill. There seems to be something wrong. What is it? You were always a fine student. You always had excellent grades.
Well, I guess the work is getting a little harder, Dr. Carroll.
No, it isn't that. Bill, I'd like to help you, but of course I can't unless you let me. You're undermining your health.
Well, there's nothing, Dr. Carroll. Really, there isn't. I'll study harder, honest.
Honest? If you were being honest with me and honest with yourself, I'm afraid you'd tell me an entirely different story. Bill, I'm going to ask you a straightforward question, and I'd like to have a straightforward answer.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that you have, perhaps unwillingly, acquired a certain harmful habit through association with certain undesirable people? Well?
No, sir, I haven't, Dr. Carroll. Well, that is, you see, I'm worried about something at home.
All right, my boy. We'll just have to let it go at that. But remember, if you ever want to confide in me, no one will ever be the wiser.
Thank you, Dr. Carroll.
Hello, Mary. You want to play a set?
Thanks, Teddy, but I'm waiting for someone.
Well, if you're waiting for Bill, he hasn't been here for weeks.
All right, people. I found the file I was going to show earlier. This is a public service announcement we were shown. Bob, you've seen this one, right? This is really very disturbing, extremely disturbing. Give 1 second. People in the boxing community are going to know about this. They're actually, it's sort of a public service announcement in the same way that this movie is.
It's a cautionary tale.
Yeah, it's a cautionary tale. They're actually doing a sequel to Reefer Madness. It stars a very well-known boxer. We're gonna show this right now. Like I said, the people with we do a sports show as well. People from that will know all about this guy. I'm guessing he has a drug problem because he seems to play a drug addict really well. Okay, here it is. Oh, that's not it. Why isn't it showing up, Bob?
I couldn't possibly.
All right, people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this in front of the screen, so then you guys can actually see this public service announcement.
I'm only gonna try meth once. I'm not gonna be like that guy.
Yeah. All right. So as you can see, I mean, you don't, not even once, people, not even once. You don't want to even do it once, right, Bob?
Not even
Did
once.
you see that? The weed made him gay. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That kid actually thought meth, like smoking meth wasn't as bad as being that guy, right?
Damn.
He's a...
Get a little freak, take her to your home. Stuck your dick in with no rubber on. 3 days later, you be on the phone, telling your doctor she burned the joint. That's what you get, unprotected sex. Nigga took a pill called Percocet. It might keep you calm, but you still wet. Tequila shots keep you in the mix. I know a young nigga out of Honolulu who said he got sprung off dog food. He stuck a needle in his arm out to do.
Say, don't you ever get fed?
You're feeding me, can't you see? Give me a knife and a fork, will you?
Get it yourself.
Damn. Why is she so snappy? Is it the weed, Bob?
It might be. Might be the alcohol.
Smoke that weed, smoke that weed, drink that liquor, pop them pills, smoke that weed, smoke that weed, smoke that weed, drink that liquor, pop them pills, smoke that weed, smoke that weed, smoke that weed, drink that liquor, pop them pills, smoke that weed, smoke that weed, smoke that weed, drink that liquor, pop them pills, smoke that is the dictionary table of Texas of drugs. If you describe it, I can tell you what the fuck it was. You feel very down.
What's up, Mad Chad?
Only sniff that funky towns.
All right, you got it. You saw it, people. What's up, Mad Chad? All right, Mad Chad. Mad Chad is just. Give me a second. Give me 1 second, people. All right, people. People who just came in. Bob says Mad Chad came in. We just want to let you know we're doing Reefer Madness tonight. We're doing the what I call the Purple Haze edition. So if you have any music you want to play, just as long as it's not copyright, we can add it to the film. We're gonna be watching the film again many times on this channel. We're gonna be adding our own music to it. So this is what we're doing. We're adding our own music to it. This is more of what I call a talkie. But we're going to play the film in its entirety next time. We're going to be doing a new episode very soon of Futv Theater that has Attack of the Crab Monsters. Right, Bob? Remember Attack of the Crab Monsters?
Yep.
It was the very first episode of the show we did, and it kind of got messed up. It was the first episode, so we're going to go back and do that one again. And we want people from the community to come in and watch it with us. But yeah, this is the Purple Haze edition. We have Never Sobers has sent us a song from an artist, I guess if you can call him that.
Called Juicy
J. Smoke That Weed. This is the name of the song. The guy's name is Chronicles of the Juice Man.
You mean the album name?
That's the album. The
Not
album's
the guy's name.
What's the guy's name?
Juicy J.
Oh, Juicy J. Okay, his name is Juicy J. So we're playing this song when appropriate, and then we're adding music to other parts of the film because this film doesn't have a lot of music in it. So here we go.
Is the organic Cabernet Sauvignon hitting you a little bit harder than you might have expected this evening?
We're drinking wine, people. We're weird. Okay, so we're going to be a little more appropriate for this right now, for the Purple Haze.
Good morning, miss. We're from the police department.
Good morning.
We're tracing a hit-and-run driver. Someone caught the license number at the place of the accident but didn't get it quite right. So we're checking all numbers like it, and yours is one of them.
Well, I'll try to help you.
You remember what you did on the 29th of last month?
Oh, that was the day before Mother's birthday. Oh, yes, I remember that because I left school and went directly to the dressmaker's with Mother. I was there all afternoon.
Did you happen to loan your car to a couple of men?
No, I had the car all afternoon myself.
Well, thanks, miss. Sorry to have troubled you.
All right, so we got Mad Chad's in the comments. He's saying that sometimes weed makes me paranoid of the human race. I don't know, man. I'm always
Being alive makes me paranoid of the human race.
Yes. I mean, come on, people. Yeah. And he wants to listen to Gigi Allen. I hate people.
Gigi Allen will 100% get our stream pulled
Yeah,
for
yes,
like
he might.
obscenity, crimes against
Yes.
humanity. I don't know, man.
Gigi Allen.
Gigi Allen.
Well, we'll see if we can play some of it, Mad Chad. We'll see.
But like Mad Chad, props for knowing who Gigi Allen is. I think like that's kind of surprising. A lot of people don't know who
he's
he
from
is.
where I grew up, pretty much. Gigi Allen was a big regular in Manhattan and smaller parts of New York City.
Was the person killed?
Fortunately, he wasn't, but that's still no excuse for hit-and-run driving.
Wow. Yeah, he didn't have to say that. It's kind of obvious. It's a weird line.
It's actually kind of a miracle that he didn't die.
He was in.
What'd you say, Bob?
It's kind of a miracle that he didn't die with the weight of those cars.
Yeah.
He was going to wait for me here, so he didn't give me May's address. Are you sure Jimmy didn't leave any message for me, Mary?
No, he didn't. But I guess you're okay. I'll write it down for you.
Mary, come right in.
Is Jimmy here?
Oh, why, he's around somewhere. I think he went out to take Agnes home, but he'll be right back. Come in and sit down, Mary. And let me take your coat.
Who's the new kid just came in?
Oh, it's that gal that Ralph's gone overboard for. Funny, we've never been able to get her up here before.
Damn, yo.
Hey, scram, will ya?
Oh man, are they doing a switcheroo with the girlfriends?
Smoke, Mary?
Thanks.
Is that weed or?
Yep.
That's weed. These people smoke weed like other people smoke cigarettes.
He tricked her. He didn't tell her.
Oh, he
it was
tricked her?
weed.
Damn.
She thought it was a cigarette.
All right, this is from Mad Chad. See if we can hear this. Hopefully it plays. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Give me 1 second. There's a Gigi Allen song called Bite It, You Scum.
Say, what's the matter? Am I an orphan?
Where do you put it? You got a hollow leg?
Thanks, Steve.
You, Mary? Oh, Mary, give me a kiss, Mary. Oh, Mary.
Oh my lord, what the hell?
tomorrow shall I send to thee? It's sweet of you to help me, Bill. Oh, thank you, kind sir. Bill's got a girl.
Uh-oh.
Ralph! Look.
Jack, is she all right?
She's dead.
Damn, she did.
Hey, get me some water. Now listen, you two. I want you to get out of here. Get out of here and forget you're ever in here today. I'll handle this. Now get going.
Wait, he's gonna clean it all up?
He has to.
This guy's become a cleaner now?
Give it to me. Here.
Harry.
Damn, they had him believe that he killed her?
Yep.
Isn't that messed up?
They're selling drugs to kids. I feel like messed up is definitely like in their repertoire of decision making.
Damn, that's messed up. You killed her, bro. You were high on weed. Hey, this shows you people don't do weed or you'll get framed for a murder you didn't commit.
Look. After I scram, you call the cops. And this is your story. Remember it. These two kids came up here for a couple of beers. In the kitchen, you heard the shots. When you got in here, that's what you found. Just stick to that story.
Mary! Mary, speak to me. Mary!
He's gonna need to smoke a big bowl after that one, huh, Bob?
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think it's gonna help.
Hello, Jack. I was just talking to a friend of mine. A cop. Sergeant on the homicide squad. The guy you hit that day died.
Died? You didn't...
No. I didn't crack. I'm not going to. Nobody will ever know you were driving that car.
Well, thanks, Jack.
Just as long as you keep your mouth shut that you were ever up in May's apartment.
Why, sure, Jack, sure.
Okay.
All right, guys. Sorry, I put that in front of the screen. I don't know if you could see it. I put some documents. We're going to be doing trivia later. If you guys, anybody wants to stick around and try to win some prizes. We're doing trivia, people.
Never Sobers won the prizes last time.
Yeah, the last time Never Sobers who's in the comments won.
He can attest.
Actually, I have a couple more items I have to send him. Sorry, I'm taking a little while.
We're working on it.
Your Honor, I'd like to recall Dr. Alfred Carroll to the stand. Call Dr. Alfred Carroll to the stand.
Dr. Carroll, as principal of the Lakeside High School, did you, during the last 3 months, notice any changes in the demeanor and attitude of your student, William Harper?
Yes, in a number of things. For example, at times disassociation of ideas. In another instance, I happened to attend the recent interscholastic tennis matches.
The music you hear right now is from The Twilight Zone, the original series from 1959. This original score that was created for the first season.
And some interesting Snapplecap facts from Mad Chats in the YouTube chats is that on an episode of Sesame Street, allegedly Grover sold eighths.
Are you kidding?
Mad Chat, I'm going to need you to drop the link in the Discord so that we can all participate in this completely ridiculous
You gotta get a
episode
little
of
closer
Sesame
to the
Street.
mic, Bob. All right. So, are you kidding, Mad Chad? We're answering some comments today. People are doing things a little differently right now. This is a live show, people. We're trying to make it organic and have people come in. Eventually, we want to have some people come in and we can kind of do like a Mystery Science 3000 kind of thing where we watch these films. This film, I mean, you could watch this film a million times. Really does have a lot of legs. We can add a million different kinds of songs to it as well. It's just something to have fun with, people. All right? Don't be so serious all the time. All right? I respect the film. I respect it. We're just playing. We're having some fun.
And if you want to see this film as a non-talky edition, we can certainly revisit it. No
we're
problem.
going to revisit it and just watch it and go over all the facts about it. All right? We're going back into the film now, people.
Harper had been considered an exceedingly good player. I saw him miss the ball by as much as 3 or 4 feet. This, I understand, could be attributed to the use of marijuana. It causes errors in time and space.
Objection, Your Honor. The witness isn't qualified to express opinions upon the effect of narcotics.
Sustained. Dr. Carroll has been called merely as a character witness.
Well, then, although you didn't know to your own knowledge that the defendant was using marijuana, did you notice any changes that would lead you to believe, as an educator, that he was under some severe mental strain, which might possibly have been induced by some drug?
Yes, I recall distinctly a few weeks ago. It was during a class of English literature. There was a serious discussion of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet when he suddenly burst into an uncontrollable fit of hysterical laughter.
Oh, by the way, Dr. Carroll, 6 months ago, what would have been your opinion regarding the character of my client?
He was a fine, upstanding American boy, a good scholar, a good athlete, and representative of the caliber of young men we are proud to graduate from our school.
Oh, snap out of it, will you? It's not our fault. Why'd I ever bring him up there anyway? He's just a kid. I can't hang him.
Shut up, shut up!
Why don't you let yourself go? Talk. Go off your nuts and have me that way, too. It was his own fault, wasn't it?
Shut up! They've got us hidden out, haven't they? The cops can't find us.
Jack, I want to get out of this place.
You're going to stay here as long as we have to keep those two out there undercover. Until the trial's over. Or the boss gets a better idea.
But they're getting on my nerves.
It can't last much longer. I'm not worried about her. We got to keep him gagged.
Oh, he's about ready to crack.
All you got to do is keep him from having too many reefers.
Any day now, that punk will get hot.
Having too many
I'll be
reefers.
still until Ollie knows if he gets a chance.
I don't think he'll get it. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
I'm going to see the boss.
Damn, just slapping her on her arm like that.
They're bad guys. They can't have any sort of positive anything.
Hello, boss. What are we going to do about that Wiley guy?
Too jittery, huh?
I don't know what the punk's going to do.
Keep feeding him those hot sticks.
That's what May's been doing. That's no good. I got a hunch that he's due to crack when that Harper verdict comes in. If he's on the tee, he's liable to take a powder on us and blow his topper to the DA.
You mean you think we'd all be better off if he never heard the verdict? Well, what are you waiting for?
You, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have a duty to perform. A duty to yourselves and to our community. Mary Lane is dead. The evidence you've heard at this trial could not have failed to convince you of the guilt of the defendant. By his own admission, he pressed the trigger of the weapon that sent lovely and innocent Mary Lane to a tragic and untimely death. We are not so much concerned about the motives behind the deed as to the deed itself. While the defendant has told you that he saw someone attacking Mary Lane and that his mind went blank from that moment on, the defense has been unable to produce one witness to substantiate that statement. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have heard able men testify at this trial, men who have tried to bring out the fact that the defendant might have become momentarily insane when he fired the shot that killed Mary Lane. But the defense has been unable to prove that he was insane. William Harper was sane when he visited the apartment where the tragedy occurred. He was in the habit of visiting the place. He was sane when he went into a bedroom with another young woman. You've all heard what went on in that room. You heard it from the defendant's own lips. Involved as he was in a tawdry love affair, Mary Lane was in the way. She had found him out. In a moment of anger, he deliberately and willfully killed her. If such deeds are permitted to go unpunished, this community would cease to be a decent and safe place for us or our children to live. I do not believe I have to plead or even demand that you bring in a verdict to punish the defendant for the crime that he has committed against society. You are upright citizens. That is why you were chosen to judge another. And as honest, upright citizens, there is only one verdict which you can find, and that is a verdict of guilty.
And this court will be adjourned until the jury's verdict is reached.
I suppose you all feel the same about this case.
But he might have been insane when he did it.
No, he wasn't. He knew what he was doing.
But supposing he was insane?
You can never make me believe it or anybody else. We'll take a first vote. Eleven for conviction, one for acquittal.
But there's a reasonable doubt about the boy's sanity.
We can't. No doubt about the fact that he murdered her. He admitted it himself. That wasn't the first time he was there.
Subtle.
What was that?
The light switch became a
Like
noose.
that contaminate all of our children. We can't have every murderer hiding behind the gag that he's insane. Sure, they see red before they kill somebody. But whose fault is it? Have you reached a verdict? We have. The defendant will rise. What is your verdict? We find the defendant guilty as charged.
What's the matter with you? Give me the creeps.
Smoke that weed, smoke that weed, drink that liquor, pop them pills, smoke that
What do you want?
smoke that weed, smoke that weed, but my niggas locked down, that weed,
They're going to hang him. Blanche, they're going to hang him.
Oh, come on. Get a hold of yourself. Here you are. Quit that crazy laughing.
Now, I'ma go do it like the white folk do.
I want to get out of here.
They'll pick you up and hang you if you don't pipe down.
I want to see Jack. Jack. I want to see Jack. Jack.
You better quiet him. I can't do anything with him.
And let us hip serve, make a body slow. And take it to a room, make a suck and blow. And act a damn fool with the acid, man.
We can't let that kid hang.
He'll be here. Don't worry. He'll be here in a little while.
I've got to see him. I've got to see him.
Weed doesn't seem to be taking away his depression, is it?
No, not at all.
Come on, darling. Everything will be over soon. Do you want me to play something for you?
Yeah, that's it. Play something.
Was he feeling guilty because he set that kid up?
Yep. Well, he didn't really set the kid up, but he didn't stop the kid from being set up.
Oh, the other guy set it up,
Yeah.
right?
Give me a smoke, will you?
She is pulling on that joint like her life depends on it.
A little bit. Is that overacting, Bob? I feel like that's
Just
that
a scotch.
I think that just might be overacting. You stole all my weed.
What you want? You want to kill me?
You're
What?
crazy. Take it easy, kid. I just want to talk to you.
Apartment 32.
This is the Ministry song called Just One Fix, people. This one you know.
Appropriate.
It's about drugs, being a drug addict.
Where's the dude that got bludgeoned to death?
Are you ready to tell what you know?
I think this is stock footage from Prohibition.
Don't be shocked.
If we can gain some measure of leniency for my client, she's prepared to enter a plea of guilty and, in addition, turn state's evidence in the case of William Harper.
I regret that this court is not prepared to bargain with justice.
I'll tell anyway. I was there. I saw it. I know who killed Mary. And I'll tell you who killed Mary Lane. It wasn't Bill. It was Jack. Jack Perry. He shot Mary, and then he put the gun in Bill's hand. We were all at the apartment one afternoon, and Mary came in looking for her brother. Bill and I, we'd been in another room. And Bill came in. He caught Ralph with Mary, and they started to fight. But it was Jack who had the gun. He was going to hit Bill over the head with it to make him stop. And then the gun went off. I saw it. I can see it now. It was horrible. And before we knew it, Mary was dead. But you see, Judge, Bill didn't know he hadn't killed Mary. He was so doped up, they made him think he had. Ralph wanted to tell you, too. Oh, if they'd only let him. But this is the truth, Judge. I'm telling you the truth. After Jack saw the poor thing was dead, he put the gun in Bill's hand. It was Jack's fault. And it was my fault, too. I got all of them to come up to the apartment. I'm just as much to blame. I am.
Do I understand you wish to plead guilty to a charge of fostering moral delinquency in the case of William Harper?
Yes, I'm guilty. I am.
Prepare a statement for signature, and also an order setting aside the jury's verdict in the case of the people versus William Harper. In the interests of justice, I shall direct a verdict of not guilty. Sign here, please. You shall be brought into court on Thursday, the 17th, when sentence will be pronounced. Meanwhile, you will be held as a material witness in the case of the people versus Ralph Wiley.
come in the hearings before this court today to what I hope will be the final actions revolving about an unhappy and unfortunate case, one whose horrible tragedy will forever remain with me. I am happy to have been enabled, before it was too late, to order the verdict of the jury in the case of the people versus William Harper to be set aside. But, young man, although this court is convinced that to declare you guilty would have been a gross miscarriage of justice, we cannot condone your acts. And we can express only the hope that your experiences may not alone keep you, but thousands of others from the vicious pitfalls of marijuana. Thus, I am ordering you to remain in this court during the next case, so that you will be obliged to witness what you yourself so narrowly escaped. Call the case of the people versus Ralph Wiley.
Your Honor, in this case, the state waives trial of the defendant, Ralph Wiley. It is recommended, Your Honor, that the defendant be placed in an institution for the criminally insane for the rest of his natural life. Defendant counsel joins the state in this request.
Since counsel for the defense, as well as counsel for the state, seem to agree on this, I see no reason why the request should not be granted.
That happened right here, to your neighbors. It is not too much to say that in your hands lies the possibility of averting other tragedies like it. We must work untiringly so that our children are obliged to learn the truth, because it is only through knowledge that we can safely protect them. Failing this, the next tragedy may be that of your daughter, or your son, or yours, or yours, or yours.
So, an interesting
All right, wait, sorry, Bob. What were we going to say, Bob?
So an interesting thing in postcode Hollywood, code refers to the codes of morals and ethics that were passed after the blue movie explosion of the 20s. And they were codes on morality and ethics. And basically, if you were a quote unquote bad guy, if you did bad things during the story, you could not have a happy ending. So even though the blonde woman whose name I forget turned state's evidence, right, and she exonerated Bill and like she made good because she had been bad, she either had to go to jail for the rest of her life or die. So if you watch films from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and even early 60s, you'll see that. If you were a bad guy, quote unquote, if you did bad things in the film, you do not have a happy ending, ever. And that was kind of a really important facet of film and the impact of film on the public, because what they wanted to avoid was the glorification of criminality or the glorification of immorality.
I mean, it was moral. People were moral.
It's not that people were particularly more moral. There were just more significant rules and pressures against being immoral, right?
They had moral standards, and that's just what it was. And they know what these negative influences bring in. So they created these rules.
Yep.
Because films, and we see this today, that a lot of these negative influences are having a negative effect on society. So they were correct, and these were the people creating these. They were creating this. It's not like it was the government. It was the people saying, hey, we want this. We don't want you, degenerating everybody. And nowadays, I mean, we just have them glorifying all these things, the drug use, everything you see in this film back then is like toned down compared to your like average rap video. You know that?
Yeah, it's really because like you couldn't be, there was no impropriety, right? So even married couples had to have the appearance of sleeping in separate beds. Like you had to be married to have a child. And there were very, very strict rules that focused on.
Well, you need to be married to also do, to mate. You couldn't just mate with.
Well, yeah, I mean, but none of that was ever shown. Like you couldn't even kiss somebody unless you were either in the process of becoming engaged to them or you were already married to them.
So this is sort of like a time capsule, right?
Yeah. It
Right.
was, and I grew up watching primarily older films. My parents are a lot older than the parents of my peers. So I grew up watching movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s and, 60s because that was what my parents watched when they were younger. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting, almost whiplash that I got when I started watching films that were current. Because I went from seeing films where the bad guy always dies in the end, or the bad guy goes to jail, or the bad guy has this like horrible thing happen to him, to the glorification of crime and the glorification of criminals and the glorification of amoral or immoral behavior. So it's just kind of interesting. And I think that if you look at society as a whole, the way that it's transitioned over time, it does reflect that arc that you see in Hollywood. In the 30s, 40s, and 50s, there was a focus on being an upstanding citizen, being a business owner, having a family, raising your children, living a good, upstanding life. And then starting in the late 60s and early 70s, when that rule set in Hollywood was omitted or eliminated, you see a complete flip where we're seeing all of these films glorifying gangsters and criminals and bad guys. And I think that when you look at society has kind of followed suit. Now it's cool to be a bad guy. It's cool to be a criminal.
It's all inverted. We don't want to get too serious on here, people, because this show is fun. If you guys want to watch our deeper take on the state of society today, you watch our show. It's called Right or Wrong. We have some new episodes coming. Bob has an episode that she's spearheading. She actually has 2 episodes. We have one about something called, what is it called, Bob? It's about the books and the adult.
So an episode that's coming out, and I know that Never Sobers has heard this before, but there's a genre of literature called YA, which is young adult. It is marketed explicitly to people between the ages of 12 and 18. However, more than 50% of consumers of that genre are over the age of 35, and authors have followed suit in the content they include. So it's talking about depictions of explicit sexuality in literature that is at least nominally marketed to very young people, and is accessible to very young people. It's one thing if you catch your kid watching something on YouTube, or not YouTube, right? But like on the internet.
Yes.
It's another entirely if they go and they pick up a book that is marketed to children and you think, okay, well, it's a YA book, so it should be safe. And then you find out, in fact, it is not. And they're having all kinds of really interesting, we'll say, ideas that were presented to them in that literature. So we're going to have a conversation about that.
Okay. All right. So right now I'm going to be seeing if I can use this Discord because I'm really terrible at it. Give me 1 second. I forget how to create a link. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to create a link. I'm going to be putting my link in the chat. I'm going to be putting it into chat so anybody can join in here. We're going to be doing our trivia questions. Anybody want to do trivia? Anyone in there to do this trivia?
Trivialer? What did you just call it?
Okay, so we got I Hate Never Sober says kick back and smoke a doobie.
Excuse me, you might be set up for murder if
Did
you
you
do
read
that.
these questions, these comments in here, Bob? Can you read some of them?
Sure.
right.
So it's Mad Chad,
Yes.
and never Mad Chads.
Mad Chads.
The Mad Chads. Okay, so there was a request for 3-6 Mafia.
3-6 Mafia. I think they would kill our stream. And for anybody who's a complete like purist for these films, we understand. We usually play the film in their entirety and try to not to interrupt it as much as possible. But for this one, we're just playing around a little bit more. We're probably going to be bringing this film back a couple of times just to kind of like, we want to get people in the show and we could all kind of have fun with this, put our own music, just play around with these films. I mean, these are like classics. This is a classic. So what did you think of the film, Bob?
I mean, it's very heavy-handed, but for the time, it's right in line with any films from like the mid to late 30s. I thought it was interesting. I don't know how an audience at the time would have taken it.
I think the audience at the time would have been very shocked by it because the stuff they're showing here, even though by today's standards this is like nothing, right? The kind of sexuality of them kissing and all that. But back when this film came out, this was like in the 30s, right, Bob?
Yes.
This was in the 30s. So when you saw these young people kissing and rubbing and all this movie must have been
and ripping clothes off, because remember, that was not like with the blonde woman who ultimately turned state's evidence, and I don't remember her name. That was consensual. Yes. But what we saw with Mary, the girl who ultimately got murdered, that was very much not consensual. And Bill, not Bill. What was the other guy's name?
I forget.
Ralph was trying to like rip her dress off and was being very rough with her. Depictions of that were not common. Yes. They had been more common in pre-code Hollywood. Like, we could do a whole episode on the difference between pre-code and post-code Hollywood, because it's like night and day. The blue films of pre-code Hollywood are shocking.
What I'm saying is that this film is risque by those standards of that day. This was very
much so.
This is probably very shocking for people to see this back then.
And I think it was intentionally shocking because they wanted to send a message, right? They're trying to express to parents, to educators, that this narcotic, as they call it, this, what is it? This herb that has its roots in hell.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, that I feel like somebody needs to make a strain.
It's got its
about
roots
that, like
in hell.
direct from Satan. But they were trying to warn people that this is, quote unquote, a gateway drug, a gateway to immorality, a gateway to other drugs, a gateway to dangerous behavior. And this was the most direct and effective way they could think of doing that.
Yes. So I'm trying to set up our trivia. I'm going to learn how to use this freaking this Discord stuff at some point. I'm setting it up right now, people, while Bob's telling you about the film. I think the film is actually a good film. I think it does hold up. It reminds me of, like, even though it's very, like Bob says, it's very heavy-handed, but it really does like evolve into like this really creepy film about kind of like obviously it's the downfalls of this drug. So it starts out really fun. And this is just like addiction. This is what addiction is. It starts off all nice and fun and cool, right? But then it kind of like, especially, when you become addicted, like to a really heavy drug. Marijuana, I don't know if marijuana would be that drug, but it does dumb some people down. But what I'm saying is, like, they also talk about heroin and these other drugs in here. But this is kind of like the normal arc of what happens when you become addicted to like hard drugs, right? It starts all fun and then it kind of just basically your whole life falls apart. And that's what we saw in this film. They started off, happy and chipper. They're doing all their, their humpy dumpies, right? They're touching the ladies and all that. And then at some point it just goes all to shit. Right, Bob?
Yeah, it totally goes off the rails.
It destroys their life.
And it's not just like, oh, I'm focused on the drug. It kind of shows the moral decay.
Yes.
Like, if you do this one thing, it's that slippery slope
We're
concept.
actually seeing the effect. We're seeing this today, aren't we?
I mean, to an extent, certainly.
Yes.
There's become this permissiveness where like everything is okay. Everything must be affirmed. Everything must be accepted, and you don't yuck other people's yum. I'm the biggest yucker of yums, honestly. That's a phrase from like the kink community where it's like, oh, as long as they're consenting adults. No, sorry. If you're into, like, there's some shit that if you're into it, like, I'm 100% never going to like trust you in a room alone with like people I care about.
So yeah,
like,
with
never.
that said, people, you saw this earlier. Don't do meth, not even once. Okay, so it turns out that weed makes you gay. It's just a fact.
Makes
what
you
What were you
gay.
saying, Bob?
Makes you gay. Well, I was letting Fu know that we had an opportunity to purchase one of those tabulation machines that the gentleman in the film is using right now, actually, at an antique store that we like to go to.
Yes.
It
All right.
doesn't work, though. Otherwise, we would 100% have
I wish
bought
somebody would show me how to use this damn Discord. All right, give me 1 second while I figure this out.
IDK.
So yeah,
LOL.
I thought the film was. I think the film is good. It holds up. Yes, it's comedically over the top when it comes to the marijuana. But I mean, marijuana does make a lot of people paranoid, and you saw it in the film. You saw the paranoia. You saw the just mania, right? Is that what you call it? That's how you describe, Bob?
And I think that you also kind of have to understand that young people at the time period this is depicted would have had no exposure to mind-altering substances. They would have had literally zero exposure. I mean, maybe coffee, but not really. So going from the strongest thing you're drinking is hot chocolate or perhaps a cup of tea to a joint, that's definitely gonna have an effect on you. Now, did they all smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, they probably
yes,
did, right?
But
didn't they used to like do heroin and all that back in the day? They thought it was like medicine.
no. So this would have been ironically the first generation that didn't get prescribed heroin as a child. That would have been their parents, actually.
Yeah.
But by this time, by the 30s, they would not have still been like that was not still on the market as much. But it was not viewed as a fun thing, a recreational drug. It was viewed medicinally and then viewed in the context of addiction. Like it was not, you don't smoke opium and then like literally do anything. You're just laying on a couch in a haze. That's why it's an opium den, not an opium dance hall.
Yes. All right, I'm just about to put the link in the chat if anybody wants to see this. By see this, I mean if you want to do the trivia. This is a live show. People, remember everything you see on the show was happening live. All the music was added live. Next time, if we do this movie or any movie that's kind of we call these talkies. So this is kind of like we kind of freeze the movie. We talk a little bit. We go back and forth. We'll add music. We're just playing around. All right, so I'm going to be throwing this in the chat right now. Right now, I am sending a link to my Discord so that people can jump in here and do the live trivia questions. Okay, it's in there right now. If anybody wants to get in on this, there are prizes, people. There really are. All right, I got to zoom this in. Hopefully, you guys can hear this. All right, Bob. Anybody saying anything in the comments?
We've got Mad Chad speculating that it was a biker gang that sold them the reefer, i.e. the Hells Angels. Possibly. I don't know. Hells Angels are kind of a divisive topic.
All right, so we're seeing if anybody wants to join in on the show and kind of answer these trivia questions that we're gonna do. If it was a 1 out of 5 stars, 1 out of 5 stars. What the hell am I saying? On a 5-star rating, Bob, what would you give Reefer Madness?
I actually enjoyed it. I mean, it was a heavy film. It was a little bit heavier, I think, than I anticipated, but I would probably give it a solid 3.5, 4.
Yeah. I mean, I think this actor was great. I don't know if he's. I mean, he was so serious that I thought he was for real. I thought this was just like a real thing.
Well, remember, this was
not even acting.
This was commissioned as part of some sort of campaign for awareness. So that guy, we could look up who he is, but that guy might well not be an actor. He might be a dude who is spearheading a campaign.
Yes.
All
right. Sorry, people. It was a little heavy at the beginning of this. I actually was running some it's kind of like public service announcement, anti-drug ads, and they were really freaking dark. I was watching, and I was like, what the hell? I'm going to depress everybody watching this stuff. All right. So if we're going to wait 10 minutes, people. If no one comes in, we'll have the trivia questions next time. I'm going to set up the timer right now, people. This is a 10-minute timer.
I'm right now looking to see if I can find whatever studies or real life events this film was based on. Because, you know, a lot of directors make those claims, but you never know. There might have been a case. I want to see. Because it sounds like they were pulling a little from, like, Lizzie Borden at one point. With a hatchet, they killed their entire family. Like, I don't know, man. That seems a bit of a stretch. But let's see. Let's see what I can find.
All right, Horace, you have 10 minutes left to get in here and do this trivia. There are prizes, people. But while we're waiting for these people to get in here, remember, people, to subscribe to the Real Food TV. This is where you find amazing programming like this. And remember to support the channel. Any penny counts, people. Anything. It all means something, people. It all means something. To support the channel. All right. Remember to subscribe to this wet ass P word. Subscribe to the Real Food TV. We got all kinds of stuff coming out soon, people. It's a very late edition of the Real Food TV on a weekday. All right.
And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, oh.
It does. It does. You're watching the Purple Haze edition of Reefer Madness on the Real Food TV.
7 days a week.
All right, Bob. What is going on?
I'm looking to see if I can find the studies or the cases.
All right, so while we're waiting for Bob to find these studies, we're going to be bringing some classic movies to your attention. Some people don't know these films, so we want you to see them. We're trying to make it a habit to show people these classic films. This one is called The Toxic Avenger. Here we go.
Meet little Melvin. He's a 90-pound weakling. Everyone hated Melvin.
I'm gonna take this mop and shove it down your throat.
They teased him.
I'm gonna do it with you. Okay.
They taunted him. They tormented him until he had a horrifying accident and fell into a vat of nuclear waste. Transforming little Melvin into a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength. Melvin became...
Okay, that's great. Sorry, people. I don't know what just happened there.
The first superhero born out of nuclear waste.
Holy shit! I don't know what it was, but it saved my life. All right, everybody, drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out.
The vandals and the perverts had their way with the little people of Tromaville until the Toxic Avenger ripped them apart. The Toxic Avenger. His face is so terrifying. We can't show it to you now. You'll have to see the movie for yourself. The Toxic Avenger can bend steel with his bare hands.
Oh, we're only kidding. Get it?
Leap small cars in a single bound. He crushes drug pushers.
Literally, right?
Smashes hit-and-run drivers. For incredible explosive action, you
An actual explosion, right?
Toxic Avenger. He's a different kind of hero. The Toxic Avenger is coming to your town. Look out.
That'll be a fun one to watch.
All right, so that's a Toxic Avenger, people. If you guys want to watch a fun film, that's probably one of them. Kind of gory. That's for sure. It's a gory film. All right, I'm going to check and see if anybody's in the Food TV chat. Let's see if anyone's joined. We have the link in the chat, people. If you want to do the trivia question, you have 5 minutes and 38 seconds left. Come on, people, do some trivia. Let's do it, people. Have some fun for once in your life, all right? Don't make me play this music from that movie 28 Days Later. It's kind of dark, people. It's kind of dark. All right. So we're waiting, people. It is a bit weird, but this is a live show. And remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV. Once again, this is where you find amazing programming like this. You've been watching Reefer Madness, Purple Haze edition. This is a live sequencing of the original film. We added new music. We just have some fun with it. We got some some comments from the chat. We're trying to do things different here, people, and we're also trying to build this channel. So remember to subscribe, tell your friends about it. And if you want in the future, you can get on the show. We would love to have you guys to come on the show and just kind of watch these films with us. We'll go through it. We'll talk about it, Not too much in this film, right, when it comes to cinematography. What would you think of it, Bob? I thought it was very like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, it was definitely intended to be one of these like shock horror
Like the
type
transformation.
things.
You saw the black circles around the eyes. Like it was very like classic horror almost in a way.
So what's interesting about this film, because I've been doing a little bit of very quick research now. This is by no means a deep dive or an exhaustive look at what is available, but it is what I could find in a few minutes. And apparently this film was released right as the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 was being passed. And this film was heavily endorsed by William Randolph Hearst as well as the DuPont family, both of whom had significant interests in lumber as well as nylon. Now, the relevant thing here, because that might not be an immediate correlation, the immediate thing here is that the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 essentially kneecapped hemp farmers. Hemp is a fast-growing crop. It can replace lumber. It can replace nylon. It produces quite a lot of things that can be used in the home. It would replace, lumber for framing and building homes, for finishing homes. And it can also be woven into hemp cord and hemp fibers, right? So fiber craft, things that you use ropes and lines for. So above and beyond marijuana as a narcotic, like there was actually a legitimate cash crop being grown, and the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 killed it. So this film was heavily endorsed, funded, and pushed, not just by a religious group that was trying to prevent the dangerous slide into degradation of morality. It was also pushed by people with like significant corporate interests. So I haven't been able to find any concrete studies or cases that this film may reference, but there was enough of a concern that was reaching a bit of a groundswell based on the more wide availability of marijuana that this is in reference to. So there was kind of like a larger social and political aspect to this film than I think I realized before. Like it wasn't just the movie.
Of course there was a huge social aspect to this. This was
right, but I didn't realize that there was the political component as well.
Yes. Yeah. All right, people. So we're going to be watching another trailer. This is a trailer for an up-and-coming remake of the classic Toxic Avenger films. All right, give me 1 second while I fix this. Give me one moment. All right, so we're going to be watching a clip. This is a trailer for the new Toxic Avenger reboot.
There are still no leads as to the identity of
the freaky folk hero remains at large. Sir, what did you see last night?
I heard gunshots, saw blood. Handsome fella had his arm tore off like wet bread, and the creature run off into the night.
He looks like a fucked up hot dog. That part was very shocking to me. Motherfucker.
Can we put that up? Anyone that may have encountered the stranger. Breaking news. A group of armed extremists, the Nasty Lads, they've taken hostages at a Mistmeat Lunchatorium downtown.
Let's go live.
We are the Nasty Lads! We are angry! Go, go, go! Who the fuck are you? What the hell is that? He's a hero.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
All right, so it's like a teaser there, and it kind of is the perfect time to bring it back, because the film is so politically incorrect that this seems to be the perfect time. Anybody in the comments, Bob? You guys, anyone in the comments, what do you think of this film? Have you ever seen it before? What do you think? Have you guys seen Reefer Madness? I'm going to guess you have. It's been around for a long time.
I mean, you also just watched it with us, so there's that.
Yeah, I know there is that. We're waiting. We're probably what we're going to end up doing since no one's coming for the trivia. We're going to be just showing the trivia on the screen. You guys, yeah. We're going to be showing the trivia on the screen. We're going to have people answer the questions at home. We'll give you a couple of, we're going to give you up to, this is how it works, people. Let me lower this music. This is how it works. We give you 5 seconds to answer the trivia question. So we bring it up, and you have 5 seconds to answer it. That's all there is to it, bro. You better answer it. Or you better answer it, okay? What do you think of that, Bob?
All right, we've got a bunch of nervous Nellies in here. Don't want to.
You think 5 seconds is too long?
Voice shared. No, I think 5 seconds is correct. We want an incisive response. Be decisive. Make a choice.
Yes, make a choice, people. So we're going to be doing the questions. You guys trying to answer them. All right? Have some fun with this. Let's have some effing fun. I got to do them now because the questions I made right now, they're relevant to this episode. They're not going to be relevant to the next. But I mean, I could always say that. But I'll just put it out here since no one's around. Well, there's some people in the chat, but no one's getting on. But we're gonna be doing these questions, all right? Here we go. This is food trivia. Give me one moment. Bob, are you excited for food trivia?
I am.
Okay, here we go. All right, where's my... Just got to set up my trivia questions, people. Just give me one moment. Okay, here we go. Bob, do you want to do the trivia questions?
Sure, I'll give him a shot.
Right, so we're going to have Bob do the questions, people.
All right, don't judge me if I don't know things.
Okay, you can't cheat, Bob. All right, do not cheat.
How would I cheat?
You could cheat because I have all the answers.
Oh.
All right, so don't look over here.
Okay, I'm closing my eyes.
Okay.
Honor system, eyes closed.
All right, but you're gonna have to look at the clip that's gonna be on that screen over there, right? Okay, so okay, here we go. Okay, we're gonna turn that music off. Just give me one moment. We got to go into our amazing trivia music. All right, once again, we had Never Sobers on here. Who was in here the last time we did the show, and he actually won some prizes, people. We're not joking around. We do give out prizes. This is a real deal, people. This show is taken very, very seriously. Okay, so first question, Bob. Are you ready?
I'm ready. As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Oh, shit. Do you see anything? Oh, okay, she doesn't see it. Don't look over here. All right. First question. All right, so this first question is going to be, it's not even a question. It's asking you what, you have to name this video clip. You have to name the movie, the name of this movie. We're going to be showing you a video clip. All right, Bob? Are you ready?
All right, but I have a very serious question before we start.
Yes.
If I win, do I get any prizes?
Yes, of course you get prizes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, she's going to get prizes, people. Okay, here we go. Here's the video clip. You're gonna watch the video clip, and then you get 5 seconds to tell me what movie it is. All right? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here it goes. Okay, wait. Where the heck? What is this? Where's the video? Am I missing something?
I don't know. What?
I don't believe it.
All right, Bob.
What the fuck was that?
So, you got 5 seconds.
Okay. Are you gonna give me the choices?
I'll give you a hint. All right. So I'm going to give you a hint.
I don't get any options? I don't get to pick
The
from the
movie
options?
stars Cheech Marin and what's that guy? Young.
Tommy Chong?
Tommy Chong, yes.
Okay.
That's your hint.
Well, what are the answer choices?
There are none.
I just have to, like, pick a random name out of thin air?
Yes. This is harder. I've made it harder. You got to know the film. It stars Cheech Marin and the other guy, whatever his name is.
Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong. The guy with the Chinese name. It's from the 1970s.
That helps me 0%.
It's a stoner comedy.
I don't know. I don't know the name of it.
All right. Well, I told you have to get all three to get the prize. Okay, I'm gonna change it up. Bob, since Bob is part of Futv, big part of it, I'm gonna let her get. She only has to get 2 of the questions right to get the prize. The name of the movie is Up in Smoke.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Yes.
So I definitely would, like, on no plane of reality would I have come up with that name.
Yes, it's Up in Smoke, the classic. In that scene, that lady actually snorts Ajax.
Well, that actually makes a whole lot more sense than Coke.
I thought it was pretty damn funny as a kid. I saw that and like, I don't know if I should have been watching it as a kid, but I thought it was fucking
Probably not.
Hilarious. All right, I'm not going to curse. All right. Okay, you ready for the second question, Bob?
I guess as ready as I'll ever be. I gotta be honest with you. Like, stoner films were never my thing. So
I wasn't a stoner. I was just a little kid.
I
just thought it was a funny movie.
I'm probably not going to know most of these answers.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We're just having some fun here, people. Okay. Let me see. I got to look for my question list. All right. So, wait. Give me one moment. All right. We're going into the second question now, Bob.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. What actor played the lead role in the 1998 cult classic, The Big Lebowski? What actor played The Big Lebowski? You have 5 seconds, Bob.
I think I actually know that one. Jeff Bridges.
Is that your final answer, Bob?
Sure. I don't fucking know, but sure, yeah.
You got it. You're right, Bob. You were right. It is Jeff Bridges.
I had a colleague at a job. I worked at a hospital who was obsessed with that film.
Oh, I love that film.
I don't think I've ever watched the whole thing, but my friend Rhiannon was obsessed with it.
He is like the greatest role model ever. If your idea is to be like a stoner loser, he totally lived the perfect life, didn't he? Or he does, I guess. The dude.
Yes. So literally everything I know about that film is because of my friend Rhiannon.
Oh, I don't know what just happened. Everything turned, wait, let me undo this. My whole screen just turned black and white for some reason. Okay, so. Give me 1 second while I shut down this. So Bob got that question right. The first question, she got it wrong.
Because I've actually never seen either of the 2 movies that you're referencing. However, I had a friend who was obsessed with The Big Lebowski.
All right, so it is Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges. I wish that would stop turning black and white.
There we go.
Okay, so there it is, not black and white. We're going to go. We got the last question. Bob's got to get this one. Don't look at the answers, Don't look at the answers, Bob.
I'm not looking at the answers.
Don't you dare. You didn't see the answers, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay, so Bob did not see the answers.
I don't even know where the answers are.
Okay. Don't look. Don't look over here. Okay, we're going to the third and final question. For people at home, I hope you know this. I hope you know these. Okay, so here we go. The last question. Who played David Wooderson in the 1993 cult classic Dazed and Confused? You have 5 seconds.
Dazed and Confused.
David Wooderson.
Didn't that have the guy about the green shoe? You know, what was his name? The guy with the green shoe. I don't remember his name. What was the actor guy who went on and did the whole conference about a green shoe?
I'm going to give you a hint. He starred in a film called A Time to Kill.
That's not good.
He was the main character in the film A Time to Kill.
He sounds always kind of like he's really high, right?
His name starts with an M.
Matthew McConaughey.
Is that your final answer?
I don't know.
Is that your final answer?
I don't know.
You got to tell me, Bob. You have 5 seconds. You got your 5 seconds.
Okay, fine. Fuck it. It's fine. My final answer. There we go.
Okay, it's correct. You got it right.
Hey! But he did a thing with the green. I don't remember what he did with the green shoe, but it was a green shoe.
It's Matthew McConaughey. That thing with the green shoe was the some kind of shooting. He played a role in that, I guess. I don't know what he did. I guess it's real. All right, people. Bob gets a prize. Bob has won, I guess.
What do I get?
She gets a special treatment, you know?
I get a prize?
Yes, of course.
What is the prize I get?
I'll surprise you.
Oh, man.
Bob has succeeded, people. She has won the trivia question.
That's a miracle because I don't know anything about stoner
Well,
films.
I gave you a lot of hints.
I don't know if you gave me a lot of hints.
I did.
I think I did pretty well.
I gave you lots of hints. All right, she has won our trivia. All right, guys, you think I gave her too much help? I don't think I did. I think she really did know. She knew. She just didn't know the name. She knew it was Matthew McConaughey. I mean, who really knows Dazed and Confused? You guys know that film?
I think I watched it once in like college, which was a few years ago now.
Yes, it was.
So weird to think that college was a while ago. That's odd.
Yes, it is. All right, so we've done our trivia. Hopefully people at home did it too. I bet you were all like, I know it. Well, you should have called in, people. I left my Discord link in the comments. We're going to do some more of this on the next one. The next episode, probably, it might be a talkie. It might not be. But we're going to be getting out of here. It is a bit late. It is 11:51 in New York,
time.
Which is where we are. We want to thank you all for joining us. Bob, once again, what did you think of the film? You thought it was a good film?
I thought it was actually really good. I mean, I'd never seen it before, so this was a first.
You never
watch
saw
for
Reefer
me.
Madness?
No, I'd seen clips of it. Like, it was just never my genre, really. So I'd seen clips, but I don't think I'd ever seen the whole thing. So I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting.
I think it is a good movie, and it does have value, even though it is so over the top. Once again, sorry people, I was playing these really depressing clips at the beginning.
I think you're gonna have to go through. And
I'm gonna go and cut out all the ads I had at the beginning of the stream because it's not really fun. I mean, this film, even though it has a very dark subject, it's about addiction. It's fun, people. It's a fun movie. It is. I mean, it's fun and it's also educational. And I'm pretty sure, like we said earlier, of the time, it was probably very risque. But it does hold up. I think it does. It's both funny and, like, informative.
We
Just
were
like
busy playing musical dogs at the beginning of the stream. So we were not here to monitor that. And when we came into the room, we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
Not optimal.
I came in the room. I was like, damn, this is depressing. We're watching, like, these freaking, like, public service announcements about drugs, and they're like really hardcore. These ads are like really depressing. It's like, this is why my son died. This is why he killed himself. And I'm like, damn, this is dark. All right, people, there's our Venmo. That's how you can support the channel. You can also support it by subscribing to the real Futv. This is the real Futv. The greatest channel known to man, people. Remember to subscribe. You have been watching Reefer Madness, the Purple Haze edition.
Sentient Flapjack is in the comments saying musical dogs and laughing faces. You know, we have a pack here, and we do have to play that really annoying game of musical dogs every so often. And today was one of those
We had
days.
to do a lot of things. We have our dogs. We don't fix them, as they say. They have all their organs in place. Because a lot of times people don't notice, but sometimes when you get those surgeries for the dogs, that chops their body parts off. They call it fixing them, but actually many times it breaks them. A lot of people I know have diabetic animals. We've had a dog who actually had health issues because of it. We had multiple dogs that got health issues after they got castrated. They get fat. They get diabetic.
They get mean.
They have like
too.
never-ending UTIs. They get mean. So we don't do it. So what happened is that we have all these dogs here, and a couple of the females are in heat. And so the males have been driving us insane. Like before we did the show, me and Bob were going insane. We were like,
howling,
like we look like
crying.
these people in Reefer Madness who were like angry, right? We look like this, people. This is how we looked. Yeah, that was us. That was us. Right before the show started. All right.
You know, this is what you do if you are going to be a caretaker for a creature.
For anything.
You do your best.
All right,
If
so
a
remember,
caretaker
people,
for anything, honestly, you do your best.
Remember, people, to support the real Futv. The money from these, the proceeds from this goes to both animal and humans. It goes to the animals. It is the dog fund and the human fund. We want to thank you guys for joining us. But remember, all good things have to come to an end. And that includes another episode of The Real Futv. And by Futv, I mean Food Theater. The greatest news show on YouTube, people. We're still trying to build this channel. Remember to subscribe. Tell your friends about it, people. It's fucking awesome. It really is, people. It really is. Bob?
It is. And we try to do quality, interesting, unique content. So if you like what you see, like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, and make sure you turn on that little bell notification so you stay tuned.
Remember to, people. We want to thank you all for joining us today, people. And remember to have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.